like Ness, though, it's going to be quite the different story for his offense to see how well he can approach. Bestness playing very patiently and very, very slow style today, which I really do. You got to pump the brakes every once in a while. Bestness doing a little bit more today than I've usually seen, so he's playing great.
I mean, he has all the time in the world, and especially as Ness, he wants to make sure that he doesn't give Sonix that window of opportunity to dig right in, as he just did right there, actually following things up, opening up the floodgates with that rising up air, and follow it up with that fair. And Bestness still not going to hold forward here. He's still trying to anticipate Sonix to be able to approach, but at the same time, this is Sonix, okay? He's going to be able to play at the same pacing as Bestness, slow things down himself, and actually try to force Bestness to play a lot more aggressively as he lands, which is how he's been able to punish him so far.
Yeah, so far looking so good for Sonix. Trying to find his way in here. It's all going to be centered around the spin dash. He doesn't want to run in and get caught with a forward air like that, so it was a good shield. Sonic mains learned that very early on that if they, instead of shielding out a spin dash, they can just jump it down air very quickly. It's not as good as shielding, obviously, but it's still a pretty good option to stop the spin. Or air dodge down too, that also works. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Way to cancel that too, and allow Sonix to try to bait out Bestness as well, feeling a little bit comfortable. And with the PK Thunder, it does stop Sonix in his shoes. The dash attack, unfortunately, isn't going to connect, and Sonix is still building up this advantage build around Bestness, building into the fact that
oh my god!
If that PK Thunder recovery would have hit Sonix has met. That's it. That footstool, all right, you got it. Although your opening wasn't that strong here, Bestness, you got it. But unfortunately, he did it right there.
That was like pulling Pokemon cards. He got the right card, but it wasn't holographic. It wasn't holographic, you know what I mean? Like, it was really nice. That footstool was godlike, and I wish he got the PK Rocket on the other side. Or the PK Thunder on the other side, sorry. Not PK Rocket. Ness mains hate that, actually, so I'm going to try not to say PK Rocket. It's like a made-up Smash term. But either way, that footstool was still godlike because he was able to get the first stock from it anyway. I mean, it was a little ways away, but without that rage, wouldn't have worked out for him. Very nice job by Bestness. That's what I like to see from him, man.
Yeah, with that dash attack, being able to clip Sonix as he is trying to go in for that landing, trying to clip Bestness, but Sonix does go for the follow-up, closes out that stock rather quickly, despite losing stock first. So Bestness, he's still trying to go in for these footstools. You see the way that he's actually dancing around these two top platforms, kind of forcing Sonix to play his game now.
No need to rush it right now. Both these players have identified, hey, if I rush in and I get hit, that's really, really bad news for me. Why don't I just chill out a little bit and try to pick the right spot to go in? Bestness going to be jumping and fairing a little bit. Good catch there by Sonix. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a little chip away. They both want to kind of overextend their welcome. You know what I mean? You want to get in, be in the advantage state, then suddenly they reversal on it. Bestness already definitely showed how that could be done very powerfully. So he's going to try to continue that here. Pressure at the ledge, but he gets grabbed instead, Vicky.
Bestness is doing a good job at finally putting his foot through the door now versus Sonix's approach. And with the PK fire, he's already seen Sonix actually try to use the up B to get out of that situation. And now with the cross-up on the back air, he needs to avoid Sonix here, who wants to take full advantage. But that stall in the air, PK Magnet now has allowed Bestness to land back onto the stage safely. Now trying to give in that space over to Sonix, who Bestness is forcing to approach once again. You see with the PK fire, now he can go in for the follow-up. Sonix doesn't jump this time around, actually, opting to go for the safer option of just staying grounded.
Holding down that center stage too. Look, Sonix was standing in place that whole time. He might have been jumping a little bit, but he was saying, you know what, I'm happy staying in the spot. Center stage is the strongest spot on the map strategically. But Bestness, I mean, he's shown that he doesn't really care about center stage. I mean, he does, obviously, but he's not too shy not being in center stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's happy to just sit there, sit back and throw the PK fires over the platform. So, okay, try to catch that air dodge. Oh, the up air doesn't connect all the way, though. Must have caught a funky hit on the transfer, you know, back and forth that it had. But either way, Sonix holding onto the stock. Big situation. The first stock, Vicky, we saw Bestness making a big comeback and get Sonix on the other side. But here we go. Instead, Bestness taking another stock lead here. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, with the way that things are kind of paced out from Sonix from the very beginning, you still have Bestness here slowing things down and allowing Sonix to go in for the approach. He's still looking kind of slow there, so he was unfortunately unable to hold that home attack, and now Sonix isn't able to approach with that rising backer. Now with the rising bear, keeping Bestness off the stage. He does get back on right before Sonix does, and that allows him to maintain that safety control. We're talking about Bestness positioning, and yeah, you're right. He doesn't really care about holding so much of that space control. It's more so the way that he's been stalling himself out in the air. He's following things out and pushing Sonix to feel safe, almost landing that angle downwards forward smash. But Bestness, he gets to see another day right before that dash attack picture to close things up.
Nice shot there by Sonix, not letting the lead get out of hand. It's so important to do. Bestness trying for a couple dash attacks here. It has a couple hits on it, good hitboxes. Trying to stuff Sonix coming in, but Sonix he's happy just not doing that.
Sonix now just kind of forcing Bestness to come in, and Sonix being able to cancel back, just right into his jump and trying to get right behind Bestness. He's setting himself in position. He's not too eager to land that first hit in because he knows what Bestness is trying to do. He's already landed it a couple of times. The PK fire to stop the approaching Sonix is something to just note from, because then at that point, Bestness, you get a huge conversion off of it, rack up that extra percent. You see those bears coming out, calling out the jump with the up bears, and now that's what's going to stop Sonix short right here by the leg.
He didn't have a jump right there. Good recognition by Bestness. Trying to swing away. PK Thunder can't really find a whole lot. These guys they're happy just getting a hit and kind of backing away, trying to put the other opponent into a really bad situation. That trade went in favor of Sonix there. A little more damage. He got stage control. Oh, look at the PK fire. That was so good. That was such good awareness by Bestness so he can get that. PK Thunder, though, looking for a grab, looking for something. I think he wants a little more damage or better positioning for the back throw is definitely one thing that Bestness is looking for. Of course, Ness mains only want one thing, you know?
And it's disgusting. And
yeah.
taking out by the ledge. That's actually why you see Bestness not having a care in the world about slowing things down. If you could just rack up that percent slightly and slowly, that could be lethal against Sonix when it comes to playing this ledge game. But right now, Sonix has been able to win this trade of a plethora of hits being made in between these two players.
Hold on a second. Look at the timer. It's a little hard to see, but I think that's a 0. Are we down to the last 30 seconds of this match? I think we are. That's what it looks like to me. 22 seconds, 21. If I'm Sonix, this is the right play.
And it's something to distract too, because this game has already been going on for so long, and Sonix knows that there's nearly 10 seconds on the clock. Hazmat and Bestness, he needs to stop playing so slow because he needs to find a way to close out this game.
What a great idea with the up air. It's not going to connect. It looks like Sonix is going to take this one down. Yes, in a timeout. Yeah, it was interesting. I'm not sure if Bestness knew right away or if he was still in the moment. He wasn't 100% sure, but he was trying to get tricky there with Sonix at the end. But good job, good awareness by Sonix. Able to pull this up in timeout fashion. Jeez, I feel like every set has been all go all day, and now we get to this set, and these guys, they're just so neutral. Just means so much in this matchup. Like getting hit and then having the opponent just run away and have Ness, use forward air to defend any approach that Sonix might have, or use dash attack or PK fire or any of these things. And Sonix is just happy not approaching that situation. And on the other side too, Bestness isn't really in the business of approaching Sonix. Like that's just not really what he wants to do. So fight each other out, really try to play carefully and safely around each other. And sometimes what that adds up into is a timeout. So it's bound to happen.
His pacing, Bestness pacing overall, we were noting it. It's looking great, but I don't know if his eyes just were not on that timer. He was just focused on playing neutral, and he was playing so well, but Sonix had already opened up that game rather slowly. He knew that Bestness wanted to kind of force Sonix to approach him rather instead, so that way he could land those PK fires, as you already see Bestness trying to set up for while he holds onto that platform. But, just noting into that, that's something that Bestness is going to definitely be wary of when it comes to looking at that timer going into the second game.
Yeah, and I mean, that really sets the pacing for a matchup too, right, Vicky? Because you come into game one and it's a timeout, it's like, man, that was... And losing a timeout is like one of the worst feelings. It's not just like, man, I lost, but it's good games, so I just need to make adjustments. It's like, man, if I'm not careful, this guy will run the clock out on me. So it's either you don't want to put that pressure on yourself either. You don't want to be like, wow, I have to approach, wow, I have to make something happen, or it's going to go to timeout. It might just be once I get the lead, force him to feel that pressure because the timeout's on the table for him too. So it's a really, really tricky little meta they've developed here. So I don't know what the set count is between these guys like lifetime, but we'll figure it out. Let's take a look.
And while that goes down for it, I believe Sonix has that 20 to 44 score around Bestness. I could be wrong though, but overall, I mean, this is some adaptation being made on Sonix's point and slowing things down while Bestness has been able to push in through this momentum through the bracket thus far. You already noted, I mean, being able to take out two amazing players, the Buzz and Ned, and now having to face off against a player like Sonix, who overall has been able to make a statement and a name for himself within these online tournaments, especially. Getting that Nair out of shield now, kind of keeping Sonix by this ledge. Sonix makes his way back with an aggressive forward air, and Bestness, he's holding on to nearly 150%, and with that rage, he still could do it in for Sonix if he's not too careful with this approach.
So coming around the first stock, Vicky, this is definitely on pace to be another timeout, right? We're coming out 3 minutes and a stock hasn't been taken yet, even though they're kind of close. But Well, a little research, a little history here. Set count lifetime for Bestness against Sonix is 14-5 in the favor of Bestness. The game count was 50-5-0 to 22 in the favor of Bestness, obviously, as well. Sonix also at one point tried Jigglypuff against him. I wonder if that was very early on or something else, but it's been all Ness from the side of Bestness, of course. Well, actually, I don't want to say of course, because he does have a ton of different characters that he likes to use. Palu, definitely amongst one of them. So, but either way, definitely. I think Sonix is really feeling motivated to win this set because it is pretty heavily favored. History heavily favors Bestness here. So first stock going to Sonix though, Vicky.
I want to say right now, Hazmat, Sonix looks like he's living in Bestness's head rent-free. I mean, with the timing on that spring and actually clipping Bestness 3 times before Bestness could finally cancel out that spring and making it back to the stage, Sonix, oh, gotta come back. Yes, he does, and that was the work there because Bestness, yeah, with that nair, I mean, whenever you're off stage, Bestness looks like a different beast. It's absolutely terrifying already to be off stage versus Ness, but when you're playing against literally the best Ness, it could be even more lethal because you see the down air come out, you see those nairs, those lingering hitboxes, and now you already see it being performed right here. Now trying to go for a quick little sneaky up B hit, Sonix, he's not going to get fooled for that, and now he's just trying to extend its lead that he once built for himself, and Bestness is closing in that gap.
Yeah, I like the idea there with Bestness. Like, he's feeling something, got a nice little 40% combo. He wanted to keep the good times rolling there. However, just didn't work out for him there. Not enough reach there on the PK Thunder. So, okay, I love that PK Fire trying to catch him. You know, canceling. He's done that spin dash ending down air a couple times. So, Bestness really catching on to some stuff here in terms of the defensive habits of Sonix. But Sonix still has the lead, Vicky, which is so important coming around the last couple minutes of this match. And it looks like, it's funny because it felt like a time warp because it kind of looks like an 8 up there in the corner. I'm pretty sure it's a 3. If it's an 8, I don't really know what's going on in the world because, 8 minutes got, okay, cool, we'll go, it's a 2, it's a 2. 2 confirmed.
The concept of time doesn't exist, Hazmat. We're here, and we're here to stay. I mean, this is the top 8 here for Toys for Tots, and currently Bestness, he's trying to hold on for dear life. That fair doesn't close it in, though, so he does get to hold it on to that stock, but that fair is definitely going to do it, going in for that low recovery. Sonix with that patience, just waiting it out to make sure that Bestness doesn't get back to the ledge for free.
Got to give Sonix a lot of credit because we saw him play more of an aggro game against Epic Gabriel, but he's able to slow it down against someone like Bestness, who plays this character Ness, who has clearly given him trouble in the past. So, got to give him a lot of props so far for how he's played this game and a half, basically, and trying to take this one down. Has Bestness in the advantage. Look at that. Even in the disadvantage, he's like, you know what? I really don't want to just throw away a stock doing anything foolish. We've seen a lot of players lose stocks off stage in kind of crazy ways so far today, and Sonix does not want to become one of those victims in a very important winners final set.
Especially with the way that he's playing right now, and we were just mentioning that Bestness having that set advantage in the pocket in this matchup when it comes to facing off against Sonix. I mean, that's that control that Sonix has been able to build up per that experience, and you can already see Bestness chasing after him. I mean, similar situation going on here. You got to keep your eye on that timer, and now you can see Bestness kind of trying to not play as patiently as we were used to seeing within this winner's bracket.
Right. Center stage, good reach there on the dash attack too.
Bestness doing his best here to just stall things out, but also just trying to close in this gap that Sonix is making it so difficult. He gets called out using that fair from Bestness. Unfortunately, that PK Thunder doesn't connect all the way. He almost was able to retaliate, trying to land it right back onto himself. Doesn't get followed up by the up air, and I like that B reverse on the Sky Magnet. You just get to see himself landing right below that platform to tack on that extra pressure. He's not letting Sonix get back, but it's still a lot to come back from Hazmat because he still has an entire stock. He still has that entire stock to work with.
So, yep, and not only that, but the time is a tick, and while the invulnerability is up, but that grab was very, very, very clutch. Like that from Bestness. Back on the board, but clearly the plan is 45 seconds, dealing 113 percentage to Sonic in this amount of time is going to be really, really hard for Bestness. See what he can do, though.
Yeah, if you could tack on that much damage in less than a minute, I mean, in just the next 30 seconds, I'm going to honestly be quite impressed. It's not impossible, though, for Ness, especially starting things off with the PK Fire, but unfortunately can't get the conversion out of that. Sonix, he knows what's ticking away, and he knows how tilting it could be. He's not going to be holding forward on Bestness, and if we do get that second time in the pocket here, Hazmat, I'm going to be a little worried here for Bestness and that momentum that, oh no, Sonix! he gets that forward smash. I mean, Bestness, he put himself in that position, but either way, I want to say here, has meant that Bestness overall, I feel like he kind of gave up at the very end there.
Yeah, well, I don't know about gave up or like he kind of identified that the situation was pretty dire and he had to make a big play in a big way. He was just unable to connect it again. There were 2 PK Thunders that actually didn't connect that way. So put those 2 on the board. Maybe Bestness, changes his fortune around that game. But yeah, Sonix just has an incredible stranglehold on the tempo and the pacing of this match. It's coming down to almost a 2-stock. Bestness got a clutch grab, which is hard to do against Sonix, so that was really nice. But, I mean, both these games have essentially come down to the last minute. So we're going to see what Bestness comes up with here. What's the answer in Game 3, Vicky? Let's find out.
He needs to do something. I mean, I know he got a little too anxious around the end right there, but that's just Sonix moving right onto the line games, living in Bestness's head. Bestness now already tacking in a lot of that damage, and Sonix is going to be able to continue pressuring on this advantage that he keeps over Bestness off the stage. And now just trying to be patient here. He knows that the PK Fires are trying to get let out by Bestness. He doesn't want to get hit by the barrage of attempts here. And despite that, no conversions getting let out, but Bestness trying his best to actually cover a lot of these options from Sonix as he makes his way back to the stage. Oh, the angle down forward smash. This is not the way you want to open up your potential last game if you're Bestness. Sonix now, he knows he has that lead, and you already know what's to come, Hazmat. He's going to be able to slow things down, and there's no reason for him to approach at this point.
No, and I mean, he's getting his kicks in, literally. He's got his forward tilt coming in and his up airs and all this stuff. Really trying to, this is looking heavily in Sonix's favor here. I don't think he's had a lead this big yet throughout the set, so you saw what he does with the lead, Vicky. He plays perfectly with it. He's so good at, like, he'll just run to the other side and just wait. Like, he'll just wait. He knows Ness's kind of bubble very, very well. Like, where Ness can threaten at what distances and how long it takes him to do it. Trying to get tricky there with the PK Thunder, trying to catch him approaching, thinking he's going to do the PK Thunder into himself, but he's just having a hard time finding anything to parry. Something started here, though.
Yeah, he's not really being able to close in this gap, and following up from the back here is Sonix keeping Bestness off the stage. A PK Thunder to sneak his way and at least a hit in onto Sonix. He does manage to dash away and give over that center stage control over to Bestness, who now is starting to pick up the pace. He's starting to play a lot more aggressively, cover a lot of the options that are available for Sonix to kind of land himself in positioning-wise. But the mix-up itself, the PK Fire lands, and so does the up air. Not going to be able to get much more out of that other than kind of this tick damage that we're seeing over from Bestness onto Sonix. But he still has an entire stock to close out, though, and you already see Sonix playing extremely patiently, getting that grab and keeping Bestness by the ledge.
Again, we're just seeing the situation where Sonix is just backing off, just standing still, just waiting and being so patient, really. I mean, it's a very effective strategy. It takes a lot of matchup understanding to know when and where Ness is going to be attacking you, really.
Over to the other side of the stage right there, keeping him off the stage with the back throw, and gets that follow-up with the up air, not letting Sonix lands, and that's finally his time right here to shine. He's at 167%. Can he really take advantage of this rage? It really does trickle down to that. Starting things off, though, with a little fair string, and that could honestly tack on the extra damage that Bestness needs to keep up that momentum and start things going. But with that trade, though, going in favor of Sonix, that's going to take Bestness a second stock, and now only has 1 to work with to make this climb with 4 minutes on board.
Yeah, 4 minutes I think is plenty of time to do it, but I think the way I think Sonix is just going to take his time here. I mean, they're engaging more this match I think than any other one, and I think that's mostly on Bestness, approaching or trying to find these hits a little bit more, making the match go a little bit faster. But at that, he's already on his last stock, and Sonix is trying to bring this one home.
With the way that Bestness is trying to play this, with the back airs, trying to throw out those nairs. I like the way he utilized that platform to extend that PK Fire, catch Sonix by the ledge. He can't get too much off of it because he's not trying to overextend, so that way Sonix doesn't get this extra aggressive tick damage off of Bestness, but now rather getting in that last hit of fair has set Sonix up where, again, he doesn't need to approach. He can play this extremely patiently. He does get the follow-up off of that with the back air. And now with the up air, he's continued on this streak. He catches the landing with the up smash, but it's not going to be able to do it enough. Not enough rage, and Bestness only holding on to 90%.
Yeah, 97% is looking really tough for Bestness right here. He can do it, of course. It's very, very possible. Anything is possible, really. He's got to find this the first stock to get it started. He's down a stock plus some. which is just it's just really hard to come back from this, especially the way the Sonix is playing. Like, it's not easy to play against Bestness like this. You know what I mean? Like, he's so good at breaking down. He's 3-0 to bust today. It's really he's good at breaking down defensive walls. He clearly is. He has a set favor in his historically. You know, this is in his favor, but today it's looking like the Sonix show. He's putting on a clink on how to fight this character. But Bestness staying alive here, finding that stray back here, getting a stock. Only 2.5 minutes left too, which is more than I think any other time when Bestness has had Sonix on his last stock. Forward throw. Are you? I was gonna say, are you serious? He didn't have an air dodge there, so Bestness tried to push the advantage, getting a forward air. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I love the idea. He was trying to, man. Bestness is like, you know what? If you're only gonna let me hit you once a stock, I'm really gonna make it count. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that idea a lot. But I like it even more that he stopped, because that's how he lost game 2. So he kind of went for it when it wasn't really going to connect. It was a little too far away. So that's good change in his game plan there.
I was gonna say, maybe Sonic's thinking is getting a little overzealous here, because Bestness is getting in these raw hits that are absolutely lethal. It's all up to getting in that last strong hit for Bestness, like with that raw back here that he had gotten to close out that second stock. And you know, Sonix has been slippery overall. He's been able to avoid those hard hitting routes up until then, and Bestness, he's still being able to tack on this extra damage. And with the rage that he has built onto himself, it's still very doable for Bestness to keep himself into the series.
Right. All right. I think Sonix has gone back. Like, he's like, all right, you know, you're bringing it a little too close. This is a little too close for comfort at this point. If I get grabbed, it might be curtains, honestly. So he's really just slowing it down here. Doesn't want to throw it away. Doesn't want to give Bestness that glimmer of hope that he's looking for. So Sonix is just going to be chilling big time.
Well, he finally lands that PK fire, though, at least by the ledge, calling Sonix out. And I like the way that Bestness was able to close that gap. But that grab that you were talking about that could be absolutely lethal. Bestness uses his jump up high, forces him to use that low recovery, does not get punished for it. Alps to go for the jump fair by the ledge. And like, this aggression right now, it's looking a lot more even compared to the last 2 games that we've seen, Hazmat.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking great for Bestness. He's playing this so well. Oh, the pressure. He rolled. I can't believe he rolled right there. I feel like that's such a risky option, especially against the Ness who's looking for a back throw. Obviously, Bestness is forward air off the ledge. Bestness is marching right now, Vicky. He's trying to make this comeback happen.
The grab.
Oh, he did it? Wow,
yeah,
okay.
And it didn't look like it, but he was at 178, Hazmat. And Sonix still had that rage to work with, 120%. And with the 3-0, that's going to be